Chosen one, stop scrolling. What I'm about to say is not entertainment, it is an emergency message from God, and if this found you, it is not by accident. God is saying, no, no, no. Don't you move, don't you react, don't you fall for this, because there is a setup waiting for you. Listen carefully. The enemy has created something that looks good, feels right, and appears aligned. But God is warning you not to make this mistake. You are being protected from something you can't yet see. And that is why God pulled you to this very moment. Your spirit is vibrating right now. If something inside you feels this message is yours, that's because God is trying to stop you before you step into a trap disguised as a blessing. You are shifting into a season where your obedience is the only thing standing between breakthrough and heartbreak. Before we go deeper into this life-altering, God-delivered message, pause this video and do 3 things right now. Hit that like button, subscribe so we can reach 97,000 chosen ones. Comment the number 99, not for luck, but as a prophetic act of completion, signaling to heaven that you are ready for divine clarity and protection. Chosen one, if you are truly called, you will stay until the end of this message. Your spirit already knows something is happening. God is trying to save you from a costly move, but if you're not ready to hear the truth, you won't make it to the end. For those who do, your life, your discernment, your direction will never be the same. Now, let's get into it. Right now, you may feel a surge of excitement, a sense that something miraculous is about to happen in your life. Maybe it's a sudden opportunity, a breakthrough, or a door that seems perfectly aligned. But stop. God is whispering and even shouting, no, 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 because what looks like a blessing is actually a trap. Your enemy is clever, patient, and relentless. He has been watching, waiting, and setting a snare that only you can fall into. This is not paranoia, it's divine. Warning. Think of it like a predator stalking its prey. It studies every movement, every desire, and every weakness to craft the perfect illusion, that promotion, that relationship, that perfect offer. It's been tailored to exploit your hopes. You might convince yourself it's too good to be true, but it feels right. Yet God sees the bigger picture. This is a moment where spiritual discernment is not optional, it's essential. Remember, God is not trying to limit you, He is protecting you from a trap that could derail years of your destiny in a single decision. The enemy thrives when we move without caution, when we are blinded by desire and excitement. Your breakthrough is close, but so is the danger. Listen to God before it's too late. Life has a way of dressing destruction in the garb of opportunity. A new friendship, a sudden windfall, or even a seemingly innocent favor can carry a hidden cost. The enemy knows that when we are eager for good things, we often let down our guard. He has mastered the art of deception, making poison look like honey. Many people have fallen for traps that appeared as blessings. They were given the perfect job only to find themselves trapped in toxic environments. They were offered love that seemed genuine only to discover manipulation and betrayal. The lesson is clear. Not every gift is divine, and not every opportunity is from God. Appearances are deceptive, and your heart must be vigilant. God's voice is guiding you to pause and examine. He wants you to question what feels too good to look beyond surface-level excitement. Your breakthrough will not be delivered through shortcuts or deceit. The real blessings come with peace, confirmation, and alignment with your purpose. Trust God's timing over the lure of instant gratification. There's a reason why the trap seems perfectly designed for you, because it is. The enemy has studied your dreams, your weaknesses, and your desires. He knows exactly what will tempt you, what will make you justify stepping into danger. This is not coincidence, it's deliberate. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. He faced repeated temptations designed to derail his purpose. Every attempt to divert him was personal, targeting his integrity, ambition, and relationships. Like Joseph, you are under observation. Every bait, Every sudden allure is aimed at distracting you from your God-given path. You must rise above desire. Pause and ask, does this opportunity align with God's promises for me, or is it designed to trap me? Wisdom is not passive. It requires vigilance, self-control, and prayerful discernment. Remember, what you resist now could save you from heartache, loss, and spiritual devastation later. The enemy often uses urgency as a weapon. He creates pressure, deadlines, and fear of missing out, forcing you to make impulsive decisions. Act now or it's gone, he whispers. But God is calling you to slow down. He knows that rushed decisions often lead to ruin. Think about it. Every major disaster in history, from financial collapses to broken relationships, often comes after a rushed choice made without discernment. If something feels hurried, it's worth questioning who is pushing this timeline, the enemy or God. God's intervention may feel frustrating, but it's protection. He is saying, not yet. Stop, look carefully. When you slow down, you see the cracks, the inconsistencies, the hidden dangers. Patience is your shield. Hurry is your vulnerability. Guard your decisions as though your destiny depends on them, because it does. When something falls into your lap and seems flawless, your heart races. Everything about it feels like an answer to prayer. But the enemy often disguises traps as miracles. That perfect offer may be designed to derail your progress, compromise your values, or pull you away from God's plan. Life is filled with lessons about hidden pitfalls. Many successful people can recount the opportunities they passed up, only to realize later that they avoided disaster. The enemy counts on your eagerness and excitement to blind you to the red flags. God's no is a blessing in disguise. Trust in His wisdom even when it seems to contradict your desires. The false blessing will fade. God's true provision will arrive in His perfect timing. Recognize the difference and don't allow temporary temptation to steal permanent victory. Every hope, every dream, every longing you have is visible to the enemy. He watches for weaknesses, knowing where you are most vulnerable. He doesn't attack randomly, he attacks strategically. Your desires become the bait, and he is the trapper. Think of a skilled chess player who knows every move of the opponent before it happens. That is the level of awareness your enemy brings to your life. He wants to exploit your heart's deepest cravings, success, love, recognition, or security, to divert you from God's plan. God's warning is clear. Be vigilant. Examine your desires in the light of His truth. Ask, is this leading me closer to my purpose or into a trap? Prayer and discernment are your armor. Without them, temptation becomes a weapon. With them, you become untouchable. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Jealousy is a silent force, often working behind the scenes to manipulate situations against you. People who envy your success, gifts, or progress may unknowingly or deliberately be part of the trap. The enemy uses jealousy as fuel. He amplifies envy, stirs conflict, and manipulates relationships to create distraction and pain. Those you trust may become conduits of delay or deception, not because they intend harm, but because spiritual forces are at play. God is urging you to be alert. Observe changes in behavior around you. Watch for subtle manipulations, whispers, or unnecessary pressure. Trust your discernment. Protect your inner circle carefully, because even small cracks can allow the enemy to creep in. Sometimes the greatest dangers come wrapped in love and trust. Someone you care for deeply may have intentions that clash with God's plan for you. It may be a friend, a mentor, or even a family member who seems supportive but unconsciously or intentionally is part of a trap. This is where discernment becomes crucial. Notice the subtle signs: pressure to act against your intuition, encouragement of risky or unethical decisions, or inconsistent behavior. The enemy often uses familiar faces to make deception comfortable and believable. God's intervention may manifest as discomfort, doubt, or sudden clarity about someone's character. Listen, your heart senses the truth before your mind does. Protect your destiny by guarding your trust, your energy, and your decisions from those who may unknowingly mislead you. Sometimes the shift comes through disruptions, plans falling apart, technology glitching at the worst time, unexpected delays, arguments that start over nothing, or sudden emotional heaviness with no logical explanation. These disruptions are not merely bad luck, they are spiritual interference. They signal that the enemy is trying to destabilize your focus, weaken your emotional strength, and distract you long enough to lead you into the trap he prepared. When you feel unusually irritated, unusually drained, or unusually anxious, don't explain away your intuition. Don't force comfort where your spirit feels disturbed. Environments don't shift without a cause. When God is trying to warn you, he often shakes your surroundings first. So you will stop, look around, and recognize that something is off. Your environment is speaking. Listen before you walk into something that was never meant for you. Emotions are one of the most powerful forces in the human experience. And the enemy knows that if he can get to your emotions, he can get to your decisions. This is why temptation never shows up looking dangerous. It arrives looking comforting, exciting, charming, or healing. You may meet someone who says all the right things, makes you feel seen, or fills a void you've been carrying in silence. You may feel drawn toward a situation that makes your heart beat faster because it feels like relief, like attention, like love. But remember, not every emotional pull is divine. The enemy often uses attraction, romantic, emotional, or even spiritual, to drag people off their path. Many destinies have been lost because someone followed chemistry instead of discernment. You must understand that emotional temptation isn't always about romance. Sometimes it's about validation. Sometimes it's about wanting to be chosen, wanting to be recognized, wanting to feel important. The enemy studies your emotional wounds and offers counterfeit comfort. This is why certain people suddenly appear in your life when you are lonely, tired, overwhelmed, or uncertain. This is why opportunities that appeal to your ego or insecurities show up when your guard is low. The enemy doesn't tempt you with things you don't want. He tempts you with exactly what your heart craves at its weakest moments. What feels like a connection may actually be a web. What feels like destiny may actually be a distraction. Before you allow emotions to lead you, pause and examine. Ask yourself, is this pulling me closer to purpose or pulling me into compromise? Does this person, opportunity, or situation carry God's peace or just emotional excitement? God's blessings bring clarity, not confusion. They bring stability, not chaos. They bring growth, not guilt. If something is causing you to question yourself, distance yourself from God, or move faster than wisdom allows, it is not from Him. Guard your heart fiercely because emotional warfare is real. The enemy knows if he captures your emotions, he can hijack your destiny. But when you surrender your emotions to God, you become untouchable. Life is built on choices, and sometimes one wrong choice can take years to recover from. The enemy is not trying to ruin your day, he is trying to derail your future. His goal is to get you to make one decision that breaks your momentum, drains your strength, delays your growth, or entangles you in something difficult to escape from. Think about people who entered the wrong relationship and spent years trying to heal. Think about people who took the wrong job and spent years trying to rebuild confidence. Think about people who trusted the wrong friend and spent years repairing damage. One decision can create a ripple effect that alters the direction of your entire destiny. This is why God is slowing you down. This is why you feel hesitation, resistance, or inner conflict. God is not trying to frustrate you. He is protecting you from consequences you cannot see yet. Sometimes God will block a person, an opportunity, or a path because He knows the damage it will cause if you proceed. Even the strongest, most gifted people have been set back because they stepped into something they were never meant to touch. This is not fear, this is wisdom. God sees what's ahead, and He knows that one misstep now could cost you years of progress, peace, and purpose. Understand this deeply. Your destiny is too valuable to gamble with impulsive choices. You have fought too hard, healed from too much, and survived, Susie, too many battles to lose everything over one moment of emotional blindness or impatience. Before you move, think. Before you speak, pray. Before you commit, discern. You owe it to your future self to make decisions that align with your destiny, not your desperation. God is guarding you because you matter. Your purpose matters, your future matters, and one wrong move can have long-lasting effects, but one wise decision can change everything. When the enemy cannot stop your blessing, he tries to blind you so you cannot recognize danger. This is why confusion feels heavier lately. This is why your intuition feels off. This is why decisions that used to feel clear suddenly feel foggy. The enemy is attacking your discernment because discernment is your spiritual eyesight. If he can blur your vision, he can lead you anywhere. He wants you to overlook red flags, trust the wrong voices, misinterpret signs, or ignore your inner warnings. Spiritual blindness is one of the enemy's most effective weapons because it makes you walk confidently into destruction. Discernment becomes clouded when you are tired, emotionally overwhelmed, spiritually drained, or distracted. The enemy knows this. He waits until you're stressed, lonely, angry, or uncertain. Then he presents opportunities that feel right, but are wrong. He wants you to choose based on emotion rather than revelation. He wants you to move quickly instead of prayerfully. He wants you to react instead of reflect. A spiritually blind person cannot tell the difference between a blessing and a trap. That is exactly what he wants. But God is calling you to sharpen your discernment again. Step back, breathe, pray, reset your spiritual vision. When you reconnect with God, the fog lifts, the confusion breaks, the truth becomes clear. You begin to see motives, hidden intentions, and spiritual dangers that you couldn't see before. Discernment is not a gift for special people. It is a necessity for every person with a purpose. Without discernment, you fall. With discernment, you navigate. With precision, protect your spiritual eyesight. With prayer, humility, and stillness. The enemy cannot deceive a person who sees clearly. Not every attack comes loudly. Many attacks come quietly, disguised as laziness, procrastination, fatigue, or distraction. The enemy doesn't always need to block your blessing. He just needs to make you too distracted or too drained to walk into it. You may suddenly feel unmotivated, scattered, or uninterested in things that used to excite you. You may find yourself wasting time, losing focus, or becoming inconsistent in your routines. These are not just personal struggles. They are spiritual strategies meant to weaken your discipline and dull your discernment. Be careful, because distraction is one of the enemy's most effective traps. Many destinies have been destroyed not by sin, but by stagnation, not by failure, but by distraction, not by attack, but by apathy. When the enemy sees that he cannot stop your breakthrough, he tries to slow you down until you lose momentum. He wants you to delay decisions, postpone progress, and gradually disconnect from your calling. The danger of distraction is that it feels harmless. You don't notice its impact until months pass and you realize how much you've lost. Slow sabotage is still sabotage. God is calling you to wake up spiritually. Reclaim your focus. Rebuild your discipline. Protect your time like it is sacred, because it is. Every hour you lose to distraction is an hour stolen from your destiny. You are not created to live in cycles of procrastination. You were created to walk in purpose, clarity, and excellence. Rise above laziness, overcome distraction, and realign your mind. The enemy cannot defeat a focused believer. Focus is spiritual warfare, and your future depends on it. When God blocks something, it often hurts. It feels confusing, frustrating, and disappointing. You may find yourself asking, "Why, God? Why did you close this door? Why did you remove this person? Why is this opportunity slipping away?" But God's no is not rejection. It is protection. He sees the danger you cannot see. He hears conversations you are not aware of. He knows intentions you have not discerned. Sometimes God must stop you before you walk into something that looks good but will cost you more than you can afford to lose. Think of all the times in life when you wanted something desperately, only to realize later that it would have destroyed you. God blocked that relationship because it was toxic behind the scenes. He blocked that job because the environment would have drained you. He blocked that opportunity because it was a trap disguised as success. When God steps in, it is because His love is deeper than your understanding. He knows the long-term impact of decisions you only see in the moment. What feels like a painful delay today is often a divine rescue. Trust His protection. The path He blocks is far less important than the path He is preparing. What is meant for you cannot be taken from you. What is not meant for you cannot be forced into your life. God's blocks are blessings even when they break your heart. One day you will thank Him for every closed door, every interrupted plan, and every separation He allowed. He is not trying to hurt you. He is saving you from something you didn't even know could harm you. This is not just another message. This is a final warning. The trap is closer than you think. The enemy is hoping you ignore the signs, doubt your intuition, or rush into something because it looks perfect. He is waiting for you to move quickly, emotionally, or blindly. But God is shouting, "Stop, listen, pay attention." You may feel tension, discomfort, or confusion right now. That is not random. That is spiritual pressure. Something is pulling you forward, but something deeper inside is telling you to slow down. That internal conflict is your sign. God is trying to reach your heart before the enemy reaches your decision. He is trying to protect your future before the enemy steals it. This is not the time to follow emotions or impulses. This is the time to be still, to pray, to evaluate, to observe. The enemy wants you rushed. God wants you grounded. Take this seriously before the trap springs shut. Make a decision to step back, breathe, and realign with God. Ask Him for clarity. Wait for peace. Watch for red flags. Protect your future like it is sacred, because it is. You have too much purpose, too much calling, too much destiny to lose it over one moment of blindness. God is giving you one final warning. Not to scare you, but to save you. If you listen, you will be protected. If you obey, you will be elevated. This is your moment. Choose wisely. The enemy doesn't always attack immediately. Often he sets traps quietly, strategically, and patiently, just waiting for the right moment. What looks like calm or ordinary life may be the calm before the storm. There could already be traps laid for you, scheduled to activate when you are least prepared. These timers may appear as sudden circumstances, pressures, or decisions that force you to act impulsively. When they trigger, you might feel overwhelmed, confused, or trapped. But God is warning you now to be vigilant. Every trap has a timing. The enemy studies your schedule, your routines, and even your spiritual rhythms. He knows when you are tired, emotionally vulnerable, or spiritually distracted. That's when he plans to strike. A seemingly small decision or delay can activate his snare. That sudden message, that unexpected offer, that perfect opportunity could be a timed setup designed to throw you off course. God is giving you insight before it's too late. Awareness of these spiritual timers allows you to slow down, pause, and approach everything with caution. The enemy thrives when you are reactive. He fails when you are proactive, discerning, and prayerful. Each moment of vigilance adds an invisible layer of protection. Do not underestimate the subtlety of spiritual strategy. Even when life seems calm, the enemy may be positioning the next challenge to exploit your weakness. But God is louder than the trap. He wants you to be aware, prepared, and anchored. Recognize the signs, protect your steps. Time may be a weapon, but God's timing is always stronger. Some battles are meant for your growth. Others are traps that are not yours to fight. The enemy loves to distract you by pulling you into conflicts you were never intended to face. These battles drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and distract you from your true purpose. God sees what lies ahead, the struggles, the manipulation, the unnecessary pain, and He is warning you to pause before stepping into these unnecessary fights. Often the trap appears disguised as a noble cause, a fight for justice, or an opportunity to help. You may feel compelled to act, thinking you are doing the right thing, but the enemy uses your good intentions against you. He knows how to make you invest in battles that lead to loss rather than victory. The scars left behind can linger for years, eroding your faith, peace, and clarity. God's warning is clear. Not every fight is yours. Learn to discern the battles that align with your destiny from those that are designed to entangle you. Spiritual maturity is measured by knowing when to step in and when to step back. It's not weakness to pause, it's wisdom. Your destiny is too precious to be distracted by unnecessary battles. Every misdirected fight slows your progress, robs you of peace, and delays your breakthrough. God is shielding you from what you cannot yet see. Trust Him, obey the warning, and walk in the battles He appointed for you, not the ones orchestrated by the enemy. A single yes can alter the course of your life. That next decision, that agreement, that commitment may look harmless or even exciting, but it could become your greatest regret if made without discernment. The enemy often packages traps as irresistible offers, promises of growth, recognition, comfort, or love. He knows that one impulsive yes can pull you into deception, delay, and spiritual compromise. The danger lies in how convincing the setup feels. Everything about it may seem perfectly aligned, especially when it appeals to your desires or aspirations, but appearances are deceptive. What you perceive as opportunity may be a cleverly disguised chain, and what seems like a solution may actually be a snare. Emotional excitement often clouds spiritual clarity, leaving room for regret to creep in. God's voice is calling you to pause, reflect, and seek guidance. Ask yourself, does this align with His will? Will this choice protect or endanger my destiny? Decisions made without clarity rarely lead to peace. Waiting for confirmation may feel frustrating, but it is far safer than rushing into something that will cost you years of growth, trust, and stability. Your next yes should be measured, prayerful, and aligned with your purpose. Remember, the enemy preys on impulsivity. Your yes has the power to shape your life. Choose wisely. The right yes brings peace, alignment, and breakthrough. The wrong yes brings regret, confusion, and spiritual entanglement. God is giving you time to discern. Don't waste it. The enemy often attacks through urgency. He creates pressure, deadlines, and panic to make you act before clarity arrives. Do it now or it's gone, he whispers. When he manipulates your sense of urgency, he blinds you to red flags, distorts your judgment, and traps you in impulsive decisions. Life may start to feel rushed, chaotic, or unusually pressured, and that is exactly the point. Urgency feels like opportunity, but it is often a disguised weapon. When you feel the rush to act, your discernment weakens. Fear of missing out, desire for approval, or pressure to perform clouds your ability to hear God clearly. The enemy uses your natural tendencies against you, knowing that when you move quickly, you can fall. God's call is the opposite. Slow down, pause, pray, seek counsel, assess every detail carefully. Spiritual victories require patience and clarity, not hasty action. What feels like a fleeting window may be a trap disguised as urgency. By slowing down, you give God space to guide you and prevent disaster. The enemy's urgency is never from God. Learn to recognize the difference between God's promptings and the enemy's pressure. True divine guidance comes with peace, even in action. False urgencies bring chaos and loss. Slow down. Your life and destiny are worth every moment of caution. The enemy knows how to appeal to your desires by presenting things that seem flawless. This perfect opportunity may arrive as a dream job, a new relationship, or a seemingly divine offer. It may appear so aligned with your goals that it feels like destiny itself is calling. But God warns appearances can deceive. What seems perfect may be poison in disguise. Often traps appear irresistible precisely because they match your desires. Your heart says yes. Your mind hesitates, but excitement overwhelms caution. The enemy exploits your eagerness, your hope, and even your spiritual longing. What feels like blessing may lead to compromise, spiritual derailment, or long-term damage. God's instruction is clear. Reject it immediately. Don't negotiate, rationalize, or compromise. Pause, pray, seek clarity. True divine opportunities come with peace, alignment, and confirmation, not pressure, secrecy, or hidden conditions. The perfect trap always carries a hidden cost. Obedience now preserves your future. Every premature acceptance of counterfeit blessing risks years of delay, conflict, or spiritual defeat. God is protecting you from what looks perfect but is fatal. Reject the trap before it traps you. Listen, obey, and trust Him for what is truly meant for you. Not all threats are visible. Some of the most dangerous attacks come from those closest to you. People you trust may unknowingly or even deliberately serve as instruments of the enemy. A sudden shift in behavior, subtle manipulation, or hidden agenda may reveal itself at the worst possible moment. God warns,